audience, so that's very rare for us. We love that. And I would say one final thought: if you're given the chance or the opportunity to be right or to be kind, please choose kind. Things will end up better. Good night, and we'll see you next time.
And we had an awesome show on the UnMasked show tonight. Thank you guys for watching that. And thank you for tuning in to the after show. Kicking it off a little bit early. Man, my neck is killing me. But you know what? Maybe it's from looking at the TV the entire time, because that show had me hooked. But without further ado, let's kick off this intro. And if you guys got any other questions that they didn't talk about, but man, Liz had an answer for everything. Aaron squared. Do I have to say more? I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
And here we go. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. And, man, okay, now it's working. We're good. We are good. I missed the official Kicker podcast, but I am here now. Thanks for tuning in, Kyle. And appreciate all you guys that hang out with me. Tune into the Kicker UnMasked show. And I don't know, man. Just thank you for being you guys. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Amp Dinos. You guys are awesome. All right, so where do I even start? The science of sound, man. I mean, talk about a topic that is super deep, yet you can understand it. And I feel like that's really what they did tonight, was kind of just talk about the scientific things, but then also get in the nitty-gritty of how we perceive sound. It's more than just wasted information, and how our ears pick it up, our body feels it, and man, just awesome job tonight. And the students from OSU, how cool was that? And yes, the mullet has never went away. It's always been cool. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I started a little bit early just because I got a little bit of a headache. It just started today, and tried rubbing a little bit, but still hurts. And, I have to do the shows. Tuesdays are where it's at. Put on the kicker shirt every Tuesday. You got to, man. And awesome job again on the Unmasked show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And thank you, Shoop Dog. Appreciate all you guys. And thank you, Kibo. Thank you for being you. Life is going good. No complaints here. And just one day at a time. That is it. One day at a time. Let's see. I know I was pulling up a lot of the comments here, and I wish I would have queued some. I'm trying something new here so I can get some of the comments literally from Kicker, because I know some questions haven't been answered, and there's a lot of questions on that show. But we're working on some things, and it's working. It is working. It's fancy. It's fancy. Dubby, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Doesn't get much better than that. No, it really doesn't, And I liked how they just went into every single thing, of just how sound works. And there were some things that, I kind of understood. I already knew how that kind of stuff worked. And, there were some other questions I wanted them to talk about so people could learn about it. And that's the whole benefit of, this second show, the after show, that you guys can ask questions. And then I can pull up some things, too, that I wanted to talk about as well. And personally ask Liz, hey, what do you think about this? And Aaron, too, man. He's literally the guy designing a lot of products at Kicker, and nobody asked him any Kicker-type just questions. And I wanted to, but I was like, nope, we're just sticking to the sound. But, designing the amplifiers, designing the speakers, and everything that entails. Man, if I could just get 5 minutes of that guy's time, I'm going to have to get him on the show. I'm going to have to get him on the show, man. Thank you for tuning in, Dubby. Appreciate ya. Let's see. He spent way more time on it than... Goodness. Thank you for tuning in, Jake. Oh, no, the terminal plate. Come on. Todd's calling me. What's going on? Jake, I love you. We got to get that L7X enclosure to Todd. And, man, you know what? Just putting a system together, planning it out, and the enclosure is the most important factor. It really is. Like they were saying about the quality of the material that you're using between paper cone and carbon fiber and just the different type of tweeters, silk, dome, whatever, and it also just comes down to how you do it. And whenever how you do it is the enclosure is the thing. You can make something that's maybe not the best woofer sound really good. Appreciate you for liking on Facebook. I got it set up so we're streaming everywhere from the Living Loud with Andy page on Facebook. So if you're watching on my page, you're watching on Kicker Club that I also shared it out to, you will see that little thing pop up there. So share it, like it. That will pop up. Appreciate you guys, and thank you for all that you do. Kibo, congratulations for being a member, part of the Green Team for 13 months.
Green Team. Living life after love.
Thank you, Kibo, and appreciate all that you do. Try getting a brain freeze. It'll make the headache go away. Eat a ton of ice cream. I feel like I need something. I don't know if I slept weird, tired. I was doing sheets last night, and I'm like, and like my head just kind of hurts no matter if I have it down or up. And I'm like, I gotta be like, we got this. No problems. Joe Organ, thank you for tuning in. Happy holidays and the fam. And happy holidays to you. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. And, just here comes Christmas. Right down the road. SDK throwing out the pennies. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that?
I got pennies.
Thank you, Jake. And I don't know why that's not coming through on YouTube there for some reason, but I do have it right here. The beard is fire, so it's not weird. The beard is not weird. Thank you, Mr. SDK Enclosures. Appreciate you, man. And I'd show it to you, but yeah, we got that cover in there. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well. And just thank you for the penny, sir. Andy, the box is shipped. All right, so we actually have the owner right here, Mr. Mike. SDK Enclosures. The box for Todd is shipped. Awesome. Uncle Bobby B, you know what we're going to do.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for tuning in. And I just switched it and this kicker stopped kicking. Come on, man. Come on. Thank you for tuning in, Bobby, and congratulations again on winning the 50% off discount code from the Kicking It With Andy show that we did 2 weeks ago, well, 3 weeks ago now. And I am sorry for the people that I told about that we had Derek coming on Tuesday. That's actually next Tuesday. I knew they weren't going to do a show the following Tuesday, but then I didn't realize we were flopping dates. We do that, you know? And yeah, so Derek is coming on next Tuesday. Derek Willison, you know the name. Come on. And it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast.
Well,
let's see here. Ah, Cornut. Would you look at that?
Cornut. He does traveling installs.
Thank you, Cornut, for gifting the membership, man. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. There it is. All right. So now that's working here. Okay. I don't know why that wasn't working. I had to reset the social stream. That's probably something I got to look at, but I wanted to be able to pull the comments from Kicker stream as well, but now it's working. All right, cool. Thank you, Fry TV. Appreciate you. Like, share, and hit the bell. It's free and it helps the channel. And Fry TV, he was live the other day, and he was just showing all the videos, the shorts, the live streams, the videos, the content that I do on his channel live. So appreciate you for that, man. And awesome content, you know? Sometimes it's nice to not listen to something that's just directly car audio and just kind of loose your mind up, and that's the show to watch. So check out Fry TV. You gotta just look at it, okay? You just gotta look at it. Thank you for tuning in, man. All right, so now my super chat little separate window should be working now, and okay, awesome. Again, thank you for tuning in, man, and thank you for telling the guys to hit the like.
Just hit the like.
You gotta hit the like, man. All right, cool. Basshead, go boom. Thank you for tuning in. Look at them subwoofers he's got. And, man, you know what? That's the thing. Like, car audio, it's a niche, but it's a bigger niche whenever you start to realize how many people love car audio and love music, love the sound of it. With the Unmasked show tonight, it was just kind of cool to hear those kids' stories. I mean, they're kids, but they're students in college. Stories about, you know, when they're doing something, what kind of music they like to listen to. And I was like, that's something good, because I thought I was the only one who was like, we'll be doing something up in the studio here, and if I'm cleaning, I'm doing something, or I'm writing something down, I'm trying to learn something, reading the Audio Sound 2000 book, I can't listen to music that has words in it, because it's like, I mean, I got ADD a little bit, that's why I'm a little speedy, and it's like I can't focus. So it's maybe just not that. It's just how the brain perceives the sound, the information coming through, and it starts distorting the signal. And that was the thing too, where it was just like talking about the shapes of the speakers and how the speaker starts playing up to a certain point and then starts distorting the signal, or just, you know, it just drops off. It just doesn't work because it's reaching its physical limitations. They covered everything tonight, and it was an awesome show. Awesome show. Thank you, Basshead, for tuning in. William. I know you guys are a little late. They're like, wait, he already started? Well, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? It's Living Loud with Andy, kicking it, Kicker Unmasked After show. Look at it. You see that right there. You're a rock star. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you, William. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Just talking about you today. And thank you for always tuning in to the beginning of the shows and just saying hello, man. It means a lot. Trust me. For a guy that looks at all the analytics, the comments mean the most, man. Thank you so much, buddy. Garrick, it's okay. I know you're on a date. I read your comment. I just haven't responded to everybody. It's been kind of crazy, but catching up. Just released a video and I recorded 3 times because I'm like, a charger for car audio, for lithium batteries, all that fun stuff. I gotta do it good. It can't be like, just, oh yeah, here's something. You gotta make it good. But appreciate you tuning in, and I hope your dinner date was great, man. Absolutely, Fry. Absolutely. Right back at you, sir. Right back at you. And this guy's studio, holy crap. This thing's got nothing. He's got TVs, monitors everywhere. It's insane, but that was awesome. So awesome to see. Troy, thank you for sharing on I Just Want to Bang and everywhere else, man. Appreciate your support from day one. And, I had to do a video on that, and I've been meaning to do it for a long time. I bought 3 of those things. I got 3 100-amp power supplies, power wheels, supercharging them. You know what I mean? It's like, and that is the perfect little thing for kind of everything. And that one was cheap. I got it for $30. I don't know. I think it went up to like $35, $40. But if you got Amazon Prime, it's a little bit cheaper. But still, compared to $60 that I paid for the first one, and then almost $200 for the big one. But that one's nice. Trust me, it is nice. I appreciate your support, man, and thank you for sharing. All right, I got to turn this AC on. I try to keep this room a little cold, These Kicker Cush NCs, they got the leather, right? So they do keep in heat a little bit more compared to other type of headpiece, muffs. But still, you start talking, going 90 miles a minute, you start sweating, got the heater in here, it's wintertime. But I was like, I guess I'll keep the ACs off. I was wrong. I can't. You got to keep them kicking, man. Oh, would you look at that? It's the Kicking It With Andy logo. Thank you, Eric, for tuning in. Appreciate you. All 38 of you guys. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. You don't have to acknowledge my comments. Just admit the Steelers beat my Charger was a fluke. You know what was a fluke? When the Steelers lost to the Browns. Chargers are looking all right. It's, man. I feel bad. I think the Chargers got some kind of just cloud chasing them. Phillip Rivers. Oh, I love Phillip Rivers, man. Still do. And Chargers, every time I see the Chargers play, I think of Troy. I definitely do. But I don't know. I think it's our year, and we're not the Cowboys here. All right. Yeah, those Chargers are awesome, man. They really are. And thank you, Sheepdog. Appreciate you, man. I'm sorry. I feel a little bit off. I don't know if it's getting sick, the pain in the back of my head, or what. I know Nate that works with us, he just got sick. And, people are, Thanksgiving, family, friends, people going in and out. I feel a little off, not going to lie to you guys, but I appreciate you tuning in with me tonight. And I had to check in. The Kicker UnMasked show was amazing. And it's like something I just couldn't just go to sleep on, So here we are. Thank you guys so much for your support. Speaking of, I just grabbed one of them charging thingies. Dude, they work for everything. They really do. And here, I think, I got the one still set up over here. I still use the other one for the kicker that kicks for the super chats and all that fun stuff over there. But yeah, I got the bigger one sitting right there, and that's the 30 volt to 30 amp, and it was $169. But man, let me tell you, well worth it, just because, man, I could charge any system that's outside, Cookie Monster, the Pilot, and Kayla's car, that have 3 different types of batteries. Cookie Monster's got just lithium iron phosphate supercapacitor up front, and then Kayla's car got LTO 6S, and then the Pilot's got LTO 5S. So I need a charger that can do it all. And 30 amps, even with 100 amp hours capacity, I could charge pretty much any battery that's out there in like 3 hours. So it's kind of a no-brainer to have something that big and adjustable, and it's kind of convenient. But they are awesome, man. That is awesome to hear. Yeah, that's going to be the game, man. And then we got Garrick, the Kansas City Chief fan. I don't know. That will be the test. We almost had you guys. No, I'm just kidding. We got blown out in the playoffs. against Kansas City last time. But I don't know, man. Russ be cooking. And you know, he's actually from the Pacific Northwest.
The Pacific Northwest.
Let's cook, Russ. Cornet's like, yeah, I told you. Thank you for hanging out, Blake. Hey, y'all just made it. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in, Blake. Hope you're doing well. If you missed the Unmasked show, go watch it. I think it was really interesting, Blake. You know, even with someone with your professor level, you know, educational. You know, it was just a good show and informational. It really was, and I feel like that topic could have went super deep. With just how it was, and it kind of did. It did go deep enough. You know, we didn't get the zeros and ones with just sound and everything. I feel like with that, you almost do need to have some PowerPoint stuff, but then you start falling asleep, you know, but it's like you kind of got to do the hands-on. It's hard doing that on a live show, let me tell you, man. You only can do chunks of it, and that's the greatest thing. We do this every week between Kicker and I with Unmasked, Kicking with Andy, and then we just have fun on Fridays. So thank you, Blake. Appreciate ya. Anthony, thank you for tuning in. Went ahead and got me a pair of the Kicker earbuds. Didn't know they made them till I started watching your show. Well, that is awesome to hear, man. And awesome, really. The Kicker earbuds are nice. They got all different types. I'm sure you took a look at them whenever you picked one up. But, man, even with the wired ones for like $30, they're pretty nice too. But now with the wireless earbuds, headphones, Tabers, and I'm waiting on a brand new Cush NC line, just like how the KXA line went out. Some things with Kicker, they just don't make them again, and that's fine, but I hope they do make the Cush NCs, just because I think these are superior to the Tabers. They were twice the price, but a little bulky, but perfect for streaming, and I mean, I've only been doing this for like almost 4 years, you know? It's fun. But good to hear, man, and I hope you enjoy those. Thank you, Anthony, for tuning in, dude. We were not talking about, I was talking about the Chargers, the one that's over there, the 30 amp power supply from San Diego. Thank you for tuning in, Adam. I have some power supplies as well, 3 or 4 others. Man, you know, you can never have enough of those things, you know, and just the flexibility and the control of that, it is awesome to have. Thank you for tuning in, man. And I don't know, because we're supposed to have Adam on, Kicking It with Andy, coming up. And this guy right here, he works like pretty much like how I am with Kicker, with SPL Lab. And that's the amp dyno stuff that I use over there for anything between amp dynos and setting gains to dB metering, just like the Term Lab, but more. We're going to have him on the show, but he got sick, so we had to reschedule. And I don't know if I'm going to have another show for Kicking With Andy after Big D this following Tuesday until January, just because you're just falling on Christmas Eve. That's the next show that I would have. So there we go. We'll have to plan it out for January, but it's going to be an awesome show nonetheless. Awesome guy, and thank you so much for tuning in, dude. Not sure how to respond to individual messages, but I'm seeing them. Russ is doing great for the Steelers. Are you on? Yeah, you should be on YouTube. Yeah, you're on YouTube right now. Yeah, there's no individual messages on there, but either way, you know, I'm just surprised as well as you are, honestly, and I'm happy for him. He needed it after all the stuff going to Denver. How about them Cowboys? Oh, we're getting them going. It's our year. I mean, being a Steeler fan, it's kind of... We're not going to go there. 95, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for tuning in, Redneck Capone. Yeah, they're not looking too good, Fry. They are not looking too good. Sun Honey Studio, thank you for tuning in. New here, appreciate you. I like the background. That looks awesome, man. That looks awesome. My Cush NCs fell apart, you know, and that is the only thing that I'm going to say is, quote, bad about them, you know, and I mess with enough of headphones and wireless stuff all the time between the Corsair and just, you know, whatever. I'm not no audiophile when it comes to headphones, but just, you know, quality and longevity. There is an issue with them with the leather. They, over time, they do start to come apart from that. And I think that would be something, and I don't know if it would, you know, kill the price point, but to have, you know, interchangeable earmuffs, you know, because like I know they're kind of custom made, but you can kind of whatever, just so whenever they do fail, they can kind of keep going. And that's the only time I ever had issues with a Cush NC. Sound quality, battery life, everything else, you know, just shock proof, like they're good stuff. But either way, that's the only strife I have with them. They can fall apart. That's the only reason why I had to buy other ones. I actually have them right here. These things are, these are my original ones from like 2019. And they are electric taped, falling apart. I mean, these bad boys probably got like, I don't know. How many streams have I done? A lot, like at least 200 streams. I used to take these back and forth to work too, you know, just on off, on off, on off, on off. So they still work. They're just the earmuffs are falling apart. And from my understanding, I don't think you can replace these, but I do like the cushion part on them better than the Tabor 2 because they're the oval. I'm not trying to make this a headphone video, but they're oval rather than circle. And if you know anything about headphones, it kind of is a difference for just how it fits on your ear and all that other fun stuff. So thank you, Kibo. Appreciate you, sir. And I know I've been doing a lot of stuff in the studio here. We added another screen. You know, SJC, I was asking him some questions about another GPU, but I figured out I can tap into my internal graphics card for a 5th monitor. Like, we need another screen in this room, but trust me, I do. For all the stuff we do, it's kind of insane. All right, cool. What are we at here? 26 minutes. Did you guys have any questions? Thank you, Eric Nemeth, for liking the stream on Facebook. I want to take a look at this really fast here. Okay, cool. So that's showing there. And, all right. I wonder, see, nobody's watching on Facebook, and I bet you that's because I'm streaming only through Livin' Loud with Andy, and they're not getting the notification. So I'm going to bump on my other one. And I'm going to see what happens. But they're coming in there. Thank you, Ant and Eric, for liking the stream on Facebook. You guys are awesome. All right, cool. Now it's showing too. It's showing too. Okay, we'll see how that works. All right, let's see. I'm going to keep the comments over... Are these the ones right here? Yeah, I want to keep these right here so I can read your comments. But I'm going to go back on some of the kicker comments. Let's see. Thank you for tuning in, Cracker. I have an Excess Power D3400 and a D6500. Will an Excess Power Superbang 630 help out very much? Well, we might as well scroll down to that. Let's take a look at that. Why is that not coming through? My fetching comment thing is kind of acting up for some reason. I see Cracker's comment right there. Norman Jones, thank you for following. Would you look at that? All right, cool. So that is working. That is working over there. I don't know why this is acting up. Sorry, guys. Usually I have no problems, but whenever you try something new, this happens. Why do I see every other comment, but I don't see that one? It might be because this was freezing? Let me... Yeah, that's good over there. We got that over there. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Oh, no, live chat. Yeah. No, that's working. All right, cool. I don't know. All right, cool. Jeez. Yeah, my comments aren't coming in like they're supposed to. I was on Facebook and switched over here. Thank you for switching over. Basehead, go booming. Yeah, it is all your fault, Troy. That's weird how it was work. You know what? Maybe since it's on a different graphics card when it's on that screen over there. Because I had those comments on this screen over here. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. It's always something, man. I think Troy did do it. So that did make a difference. Now they're coming in. So, note to self. Don't put chat on the other graphics card. Because then it doesn't come through. Wow. That's crazy. See? Learning with you guys. All right, cool. Now I can see this because we don't need anything else there. I'm going to keep this right here. I'm going to look on the chat, Kicker Unmasked here, of any other questions that just pop out at me here. Yeah, Sean Lynn. This was from before. Anything over 20,000 is wasted information. 20,000 hertz. Anything over 30 hertz isn't impressive anymore. This is at Nick Martinez. I seen him commenting in there. He was like, something, if you like Kicker, you'll love Infinity. You know, hey, there's always going to be that guy. It's okay. And you know, I like Infinity too, man. I've ran Kappas. I got a Kappa hanging on my wall in the studio. Well, actually, you might be able to see it here. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. I used to run the Kappa 6x9s, but I do have a Kappa 4 channel. I got it secondhand. Well, you're not going to be able to see too much of it because it's actually behind a TV. But that is a Kappa right there. There's a Kappa 4, and that thing is awesome. It's a 1200 watt, peak 4 channel, but it's got some power, man. I'm talking like almost 200 watts RMS at 2 ohms by 4. It is a beast. It is a beast. All right, so that pulled me down there. I don't want to do that. You got to look at it, William. You just got to look at it. Would you look at it? That's the problem. I'm not looking at it. It's the problem. You didn't break it from your phone, Troy, I promise. I don't know how to comment on my TV. Okay, yeah, TVs, I don't know if you can comment on there. You can see the live chat on there, Troy. But yeah, that's what I do whenever I watch Unmasked downstairs. I will have the big 65-inch, 70-inch TV playing the show, and then I'm down on my phone in the chat. But then I also keep the chat up on there, too. I kind of do a little bit of everything. But appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much, dude. How do we look on the big TV, too? Kyle, I won $10 in pool tonight, so there's that. Hey, it's a good day. Man, I don't gamble, but hey, you know what? If it's just a game, $10, take his money. Oh, would you look at that? Garrick throwing out the pennies. My wife, Louise, says hi, Andy. Hello, Louise.
I got pennies.
Hey, thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you. And again, I hope you guys have an awesome night. Enjoy staying in a nice, warm house. And wintertime, it has its pros and cons, but there is that. You get to snuggle a little bit more. She can't get mad at you too much. Thanks for tuning in, Garrick, and thank you for the penny, sir. You just got to look at it, Sean. You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore. That's all you can do. All right, cool. Let me scroll down here. Okay, 20 hertz. It wasted information. Box looks a little... Okay, that was the cake, I think. How about that kicker cake? Did you guys see that? Man, that literally looked like a kicker. And it was cake. Isn't brown noise 13 hertz? No, I think that's the brown note, and that is actually at 9 hertz. I know Kicker Car, he tunes in on this show too, man, at 175 dBs. I think brown noise, there's brown noise, pink noise, white noise. For some reason, I want to say brown noise, it's like lower frequencies or more elevated or something. It's like there's different crossovers for the different types of noise, but it's pretty much all those frequencies being played together at once. And I know whenever you're using the kicker key amplifiers and you're putting them through their setup process, you're playing pink noise through that, and it's just, so that it can tell where the frequencies are coming and do the proper time alignment and equalization or what have you for all that stuff. So it is kind of crazy. Winter sucks. I can't work on my build. I know, Garrick. We were actually talking about that in my work chat. It's just like, I can't get anything done. My fingers are freezing and same. I was going to take some pictures. I was playing with some L7X stuff this week, but I was freezing my fingers off, and but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I have a garage, but Cookie Monster takes up the entire thing. It takes up the entire garage. But whenever there is an entire build that I have to do, yeah, it comes out. I know, I liked Kibo's comment here on the Unmasked Show. Get your kids into car audio and they'll never have money for any of the bad stuff. And man, talk about a good addiction. And those kids, the one was like, oh yeah, man, after this, I'm getting a kicker system. And that was one of the comments that I was literally typing in, like, do they have any systems? And now that they've been to kicker, are they gonna get one? And he answered it before I could type send. I'm like, oh, would you look at that? Would you just look at it? You should be talking about the brown note 5 to 7 hertz, LOL. I think it's Mythbusters did a video. I think it is 9 hertz, but I've never tried. I mean, we did try 9 hertz in Scott Lott's build. He had 618 sundowns in a 4th order, and this thing was just like a wind tunnel, okay? And we were playing 9 hertz, but he couldn't effectively, be as loud, obviously. I think his low end was like 12 or 11. Like, he was close, but like it started to fall off and doors were just flexing, and there was no brown noting anywhere. All right, there we go. Blake, white noise is even across the board. Pink noise cuts the level in half every octave. Okay, brown noise is an even steeper slope than the pink noise. Okay, so there are some crossover. I don't even know. It's a crossover. What is that then, Blake? You're saying that it cuts the level in half every octave. Okay, so every octave goes down by 3 dB. No, wouldn't even be 3 dB. Yeah, that's half, but I don't know if that's half. I don't know. Blake, more input, please. We need more input, okay? Hold on. I should have had this set up too, man. Oh my goodness. I don't have the input one. I still need input. That's what we need. And yeah, those were definitely my kids, Kibo. Yeah. Okay. 15 hertz does hurt. Pink noise would essentially be a 3 dB octave. Okay. Okay, I don't feel stupid now, Blake. I don't feel stupid. Okay, so 3 dB octave slope. Now, where does that, is it all playing all of the frequencies, or does it depend what type of pink noise you're playing, of where that frequency starts of per octave goes down? How does that work, man? That is, I feel like Blake could have been on that show too, man, because he learns all about that stuff, and it's kind of crazy, man. Thank you for being here, Blake. Now, this was a question I did not see them throw up. Desharn Bus Kingdom asked on the Kicker Unmasked show, how ported enclosures differentiates the air inside the port and the air inside the enclosure, both having the same density of materials such as nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. And I wanted them to talk about this. They didn't highlight that comment. And I wanted to ask about temperature versus elevation. And I think with that as well, it all comes down to the molecules and how dense or separated they are, and with some type of enclosures I've heard people talk about, I don't know if they actually did it, but, put like helium in there and put different kind of gases inside a sealed enclosure. But I don't know if that in practice will actually do anything, because you kind of have to change everything. And then when you change that, I don't know if the sound wave with the same amount of like just gravity of just the pressure, the vacuum of, not the vacuum, but just Earth, okay? With everything going on, I feel like it would be really hard. You would need a huge room, and I don't even know, a huge room to try to measure if it would be louder or quieter with different gases than pure just oxygen alone. Like that is a very scientific question. I don't know on that one. I don't know. I can't find more precise info on the brown noise. Okay. I just seen a lot of videos is like brown noise, and it's like it just sounds a little bit different. And I know there's some things where they'll actually add like a tone, like a 360 hertz or like a 400 hertz tone into the mix of a song, and it's supposed to like relax you and stuff. And I don't know how all that stuff works, but I don't know, it's like they'll call like brown music. Who knows what's real anymore. Let's see. LQ12 sounds good. Can't wait to see the difference in the solo X12s on two 3600.1s, man. And, okay, so you're running two 12s on two 3600.1s. I mean, that's what they're designed to do. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, you could run one Warhorse on two of them. But, if you're really trying to get everything out of that L7X, then sure. Run one per, and it's going to just light that thing up, man. It's going to light it up. All right. Pink noise starts at the roll-off at 20 or 80 hertz. Okay, so... And that's starting at 20 or 80 hertz. Okay, so every Well, it'll be 20 and then 40, depending where you start. Go down 3 dBs as you go up. Okay. See, I'm learning stuff, you know, and that's the thing with this. It's so deep, and then half of the stuff you're not really ever going to use, but it's like you still need to know it. You still need to know it. Thank you, Blake. Waiting to see the dimensions of a Kicker Solo X12 dual box. Yeah, I mean, in my just guessing, it's a quad box. It's pretty darn close to it. I seen the one that they had 2 years ago, and it literally just, I thought it was a quad box, maybe like 4 inches shorter, maybe 5 inches shorter, if that. So it's not super huge, but you think about it, the L7Xs, they recommend 3 cubes plus the port area. So that box is probably at least around 7 cubes, you know, internally, externally, probably like 9. So, my guess, probably like 36 by 24 by, I don't know, 20, give or take. You just got to look at it. That's what you got to do. Yeah, just ported enclosures. I know. I feel like with the gases and ports, like it's not really going to change much. I know people talked about it, putting it in a sealed enclosure and like could like kind of cheat and rig, make the woofer a little bit more efficient or something like that because molecules letting it move. But then you still got the regular atmosphere. That's the thing. It's the atmosphere on the other side of the woofer. So does it even make a difference? You know, I don't know. I don't know. People are louder when it's colder. Not sure if that applies with what you're talking about. And it kind of is, you know, with the molecules, you know, just being kind of closer. But I don't think it's linear of just being louder, you know, because of how the sound waves and how they react. Maybe it could be detrimental when it's colder just because of how the frequency is resonating with the molecules being tighter or closer. Just like with everything being tighter or closer with how waves, you know, load off of walls, how they reach your ears and all this stuff, man. I'm sure it's not linear, but I feel like the biggest reason why people almost think they're louder in the wintertime is because once they get their batteries a little bit warmer, you know, as soon as you start playing for like maybe a minute, that battery's kind of warm. It's warm enough. And the alternator is really nice and cold. It's just giving you a little bit more power. I think it's almost a placebo effect. And then long as that woofer isn't like frozen, it's still going to be pretty loud. And I think that is it. I think it's the alternator being able to work better because it's not hot. I think that's really it. But who knows? It could be a lot more with all like the science stuff of everything too. It always is though. You just got to listen to it. Just listen to it. Would you just listen to it? You know, that's what you got to do. You got to look at it, but then you got to listen to it and say, "Oh, would you listen to that? Would you listen to that?" All right, I'm done. I'm done. Uncle Bobby B. Hopefully I can turn the gains down on the Warhorse amps where it will not overwork the sub. And you know, I mean, I don't think you're going to overwork the sub as in power handling if you just set that cleanly, because that amplifier is 3600 watts RMS, and you know, with all stuff and how they rate that L7X is a little bit different than every other kicker they have, like the L7S, the comp, all the other stuff. They rate that, I think, a little bit differently. And it can take, you know, that 2000 watts continuous sine wave. Parker did it. And even then, I would say constant, no problem whatsoever, 1500 watts, just, you're good. You know, clamped like forever. It's going to handle that. And it's a 1 to 2000 watt driver, you know, but does it need all that power? No. And it still puts out the output. So who cares how much it can handle? That's the name of the game when it comes to majority of car audio, even in the lanes. And whenever you're in the lanes, every watt matters. But I don't think you'll be in, you know, too much trouble with that. You know, I had mine at half ohm, and a lot of the guys do. But, you know, I was running in a mechanical limit before I was running in a thermal limit, you know, and I just had to, like, tune appropriately. And that was probably almost double the type of output you're going to get by wiring it at 1 ohm. So, like, I was getting, like, 3,600 watts clamped, you know, wherever I wanted it, because I was rising to, like, you know, 1 or 2 ohms. So, you know, if you're on a 1, you're going to get like that 2 to 4, and that does 1400 to 2600 watts, and that's really perfect for the L7X. Wade, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And I was looking at Kicker Club. I knew there was like 160. I'm like, I need to do them. Wade is doing way too much work, but I appreciate you, man. Wade, love you, buddy. Let's see here. So does your car sound better in the winter or summer? You know, I feel like it's subjective. You know, it really is. But I noticed this, and I think this just has to do with your body, excuse me, and how it perceives a sound is in the daytime, like it's bright out, right? And you're bumping. And it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, but in the daytime, it's like your eyes, or you could just see things vibrating more with, like, you know, when you're looking at lights, you're looking down the road, your head's, you know, the bass is going. And then nighttime, unless you're looking at Christmas lights, it just doesn't seem quite as loud, even though it is the same amount of output and maybe dB. And that's just because of how your body is, you're not seeing the loudness as much. So it doesn't feel, and you know, as loud for some reason. To me. That's my opinion on that. But winter or summer, I feel like it depends the build, because, you know, in the wintertime, you can't have your windows all the way down. Cookie Monster, she likes the windows down. She likes to breathe. Kayla's car, the L7X, likes to breathe. But then I just put the L7X in the Pilot in just a shoddy box with a cardboard 8-inch pipe from Home Depot just to try some things, okay, with an L7S, and then I put the L7X in there. And because that vehicle's so big and just how the waves are kind of matching up, and it's like a small box in relation to the length of the vehicle and all that fun stuff, it is just louder with the windows up demo-wise. Like, it's just there. It's not unloading. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not sounding wonky. And I think that's better for the winter, where you can have a system that sounds better with the windows up rather than down in the summertime. I feel like that's a key thing you got to think about. Thank you, Shoop Dog. Not gonna bridge it too much. Hopefully the math, I hope you grab the dual 2s and just run each one at 1 ohm. And even if you grab the dual 1s, you can run each one at 2 ohm. Either way, you got plenty of power for them bad boys, and you'll be good to go, Cracker. Thank you for tuning in, sir. Passive radiator on the same power unless you want a specific hertz. Let's see, Marcus. Thank you for tuning in, man. Which would be louder, single sub in a ported box, okay, or a single sub in a sealed box with a passive radiator? Well, let's just try to say we can get them as close as we can, right? With like tuning, matching the vehicle resonance. Generally speaking, the ported is going to be bigger. And I'm going to tell you this why. Because the ported is almost like an infinite passive radiator. A passive radiator works like a port, but it's resisted by, well, the passive radiator. And the port, you know, it's going to have its characteristics of not being able to have such a wide bandwidth of playability, of letting that air spring work as the port does or the passive radiator, just because it's longer and just physics of how that stuff works. So there's pros and cons with that, and that's why people love passive radiators, because you don't need to build the boxes big and still be able to have low output bass compared to a sealed box, and then it doesn't need to be as big as a ported box with a long port. But with just output versus output, I feel like the ported is just going to win every time. But if you want to look at like an average of like maybe like 20 hertz to 20 hertz up and down from the loudest point, the passive radiator should be able to keep up on an average score because it has less of a dip on, you know, just where it's loudest at. It has less of a roll off, so it might make up for that. I'm not 100% sure, and every box is going to be different, but that's the way you need to look at when you're building an enclosure and you're putting it in a vehicle and judging it up as something else. It's not just the loudest frequency. I love Parker to death, but it's like, man, it's like there's so many variables where to judge a woofer, you know, of how it works in that vehicle and the bandwidth and what you're gearing it for. SPL, lows, and what is that driver designed to do? Is it designed to do 50 hertz for an SPL, or is it more of a demo sub, you know, where it's just, you know, it needs a big box and it likes to play lows and just all them fun factors. So I'm going to go with Porta Box on that one, Marcus. Thank you for tuning in, sir. Awesome, Bobby B.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Again, I just had to throw it up again, man. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you, man. And use that 50% off discount code responsibly. He's going to be like, guys, I can't go to Disneyland anymore. I bought too many kickers. I bought them all. All right. Appreciate you guys so much. Rage Turtle. We got some new ones in here tonight. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Had two 12-inch kicker comp Cs in a 2015 Ford Focus. On break, when it was hot, the mirror would move, right? And after work, it cold, it didn't move as much. Could be heat expanding and loosening up some of the things. I think that is the thing 1000%. When I used to have a mirror in Cookie Monster, I would just see it go, brrr. And then in the wintertime, I could see through it. You know, I could see it to a point, you know, and after a while it would just be down. But it wouldn't happen instantaneously. When it was really hot, that thing would just drop like instantly. And I'm like, yeah, it's hot out. So that is that. I think that has more to do with the mirror, not really the system being louder. But, you know, with just how woofers are, maybe it's like a different type of surround where it's really cold, it doesn't let it flex as much, which could kill the efficiency of the woofer, meaning that you would need to apply more power to it to be as loud, because to make it move as far as it would if it was a little bit looser in a warmer environment. I think that is the key that we're all trying to like poke at. Like, is that's the thing right there. So that between, you know, the mirror itself, but appreciate you tuning in. You guys are awesome. And I love like this topic on the Unmasked show tonight was amazing. It really was. All right, Mr. Comments, quit scrolling on me here. My truck likes the windows down or doors open. And, you know, I feel like trucks are like, they're like a different breed for some reason. Like, I had a truck for like 7 years, and every system I put in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'll face the speakers backwards, you know, stupid me. No, they like it forward, you know, like the truck box, but they like it forward. But every other vehicle, it's like, no, fire it to the back. And an SUV, a car, a hatchback, a sedan, whatever, you know, boundary loading, but the cabin is so small, so you get these weird anomalies, which is like, okay, it likes it. Both windows down, even on the meter at a headrest position, while the window's wide open, it's louder than it's sealed up, driver door open, which makes zero sense, but that is physics. That is physics, Fry. Let's see, I feel like cold weather affects the rubber surrounds. Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. And the L7X was about to be foam originally when they were first putting it together. And that's what Aaron was talking about tonight on the show, that they changed some things on the L7X. That was one of them. Thank you, Lloyd Spinner, for liking the stream on Facebook. All right. Woo. Praisinator loves windows down for everyone to hear the praise of God. And you know what? Amen. And the hatchbacks, you know, whenever you got a system like you do, where it's too low, normal, bass head stuff, it just acts like another order. If you got a porta box, now you got a 6 order, okay? When you put them windows down, and I feel like that's why that helps. There's less, not standing waves, but less cancellation in your vehicle, and that's why the windows down sound louder to your ear, because there's less of that cancellation with that wave hitting the window, coming back, hitting that same waves that's coming back and hitting you, and nulling that wave, making it quieter. So that's why it likes it down. Same thing lights it up. It's just that wave is bouncing off, meeting you, and it's making it higher. So that's how that stuff works there. All right, any other questions? Thank you, Troy. Love you, man. Any other questions before we end this? We're already at 53 minutes. I'm running out of steam, and my neck hurts. What screws do you recommend for installing the L7s into a prefab? My opinion on screws, no, the hex bolts, if you can get them, if they can fit into the smaller kickers. I use them for the Solo X, this one over here. The L7X, I use regular Phillips, but these are some heavy duty, and they're not a lot of winds in them, if that makes sense to you. They're real aggressive. Just so, you know, if I pull it out, it has less of a chance of just like slipping through. It's got more grip, but whenever I put them in, I obviously I pre-drill a little bit, but I don't pre-drill huge, because the bigger the pre-drill, the less grip you're going to have. And whenever I first initially put that in, I use the drill just to get it in just for a second, and then I use it with hand tight and hand unloose so that there's no case of any kind of strippage, because with kickers being square, if you strip out that one hole, you can't spin the woofer like you could with a circle. Well, that one's beat. I can't use that anymore. It's not hooking. You can't just shift it around, because you spin it around, it's going to be the same thing every single angle. So you're kind of screwed. So when it comes to the squares, be careful with them. Take your time. You can use power drills, but I mean, just be careful with what you do. I use the Walmart one, and I put it on the highest torque setting, and it's literally perfect for wood. Everyone's like, wow, that drill's perfect. Like, it's not too strong. I'm like, I know. It's perfect for subwoofers. The whatever Walmart's brand is, not the expensive one. Hypertech or whatever it is. Hyperpower. I forget what it is. Thank you, Fago, for tuning in. And anything that's just like aggressive. That's my answer on that. Anything that's aggressive. Joe Organ, my little hatchback with the 12-inch VR likes the windows up, and that's the thing where, even though it's a hatchback, you know, with Kayla's car, when we had two 12s in there, the L7S's, each 12 together, but each 12 had 0.8 cubic feet below minimum recommendation, and the tuning of the enclosure with the driver with the FS of the 12 was around like 44 hertz, 45 hertz, so it peaked at 49 on the meter. And it was louder on the meter, maybe a little bit less efficient, but, you know, I would run into mechanical limit of the speakers bottoming out with it open, but it just sounded so much better. I could crank it up even louder when everything was sealed, and it just sounded amazing. You know, it was a 148.4 on two 12s in a sealed box, now clamping 2K to each one, but you get what I'm saying. It liked it sealed up. Otherwise, I would just unload. And so it all depends where that frequency is. And again, with the cabin resonant gain and how that works. You know, bigger cars are going to have a lower frequency. Smaller cars are going to have shorter frequency. And then trucks, you're even smaller than that. And then I feel like it changes from like half wave, quarter wave to like eighth wave and like 1/3 wave. Like, you're getting into some crazy stuff that I just don't know about and I cannot answer. I try my best. Love you, Andy. Hope you feel better or gooder and greater. Okay, bye, buddy. See you, Troy. Thank you for watching, man. And thank you for tuning in tonight. You need to tune in more often every Tuesday and Friday, guys. Every Tuesday and Friday, as long as I'm not sick, we're doing something Friday. And then we got Big D Wiz on Tuesday. Gonna be awesome, and I'm excited for that. All right, let's see. Hyper tough. Thank you. I knew it was hyper something. Hyper tough. It's the perfect drill for car audio, just because it's not too strong. Don't be using an impact or something like that. Screwing your kickers. Just don't do it. She gave me one before, and that's why like the pain went away for like 30 minutes. And then, like, I come up here, and I'm sitting, I'm looking down on my phone, you know, getting ready for the show, typing, whatever, for the Unmasked show. I'm like, oh, my God, my neck hurts. My neck hurts. So, we'll see. It's either that or just pain, either one. And thank you, Shoop Dog. Appreciate you tuning in. And, yeah, I need that. That's why I don't want to be on here too late. Caleb will still be up. I need that neck massage. I need it. The VRs get down. Can't wait to hear the new ones. You know, I've only had a CVR for 10 minutes. And then I blew it up. Now, give it. It was a hand-me-down. I bought it used, and it was a 2001 amp. But I mean, come on, man. I'm Andy. You know, you play it. Oh, yeah, too much. You pull it down. You're good. And I was playing it, and it just went. You know, I had a kicker comp on there. Didn't, you know, you get a little stinky, and then you back it down, right? On a 2001 amp. And so it was on its last leg, last tinsel lead, we'll say. And so I didn't get to hear the whole experience of the VR. I do have the older ones, though, the 15 CVRs, like 2003, but that's like an entirely different breed compared to what they have now. And I do like the new look, the deeper dish. It's a little bit more stylish, yet still like not like popping in your face like I'm a subwoofer. Like it's just like, oh, what is that? That looks nice. What is that in your car? Oh, that's a subwoofer. Yeah. And I feel like the CVR and the Comp R are the woofers that most people buy. They really are. They're not the entry level from Walmart that everybody hates. Meanwhile, it's one of the awesomest drivers Kicker has. It's stupid efficient and it's stupid cheap, and it has a relatively low FS, and it just sounds good. And even with home audio too, man, or free air, it's the driver to do it with. But still, yeah, that's definitely the main one to go by. You know, it's like, oh yeah, 300 watts piece, 400 watts piece, 10, 12, whatever you got, and they sound amazing. I've seen people fix a strip hole by packing sawdust and glue. Yep, that's it. And then pre-drill a plot hole. And that's just like something that maybe the average person, even with the prefab, isn't going to do. They're going to put that screw in there, or like E6000 and just not screw that one in. I mean, that does work too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, honestly, in most cases, you just need 4 holes to hold that kicker in there and you're good to go. You should put all of them in there. I'm not telling you don't, but, you know, I just hate telling people to rig things, because it's like, you know, you don't want to have to do that. You don't want to have to take your sub out, put the sawdust in there, hold it in the back, put some wood glue in there, wait for it to dry, and then hope and pray when you put it in there, you still got the same amount of grip as you had before. You know, just do it right the first time. Take your time with your enclosure. Look at your woofer, love your woofer, and take care of that thing while you unscrew it. Okay? You know, just take your time. And I know it's cold out, so it's that. Great show. Hope your headache gets better. Thanks for the great hospitality. Thank you, Cracker. Appreciate you, man. And we'll see. I hope so, man. You know, I just hope I'm not getting sick. That's all we need. But either way, thank you guys so much. And I'm sorry, Kyle. I was the trap game. Oh, the trap game. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, man, where's it at? I know I got it here. Don't tell me I deleted it. Oh, yeah. I didn't do it. Or Kayla didn't do it, but I did.
Legend, switch it up.
I thought it was the other one. But you get what? You get it. Oh, man. You know, I keep all these on here, man.
Have you ever
wondered? I mean, it is that time of year. I guess we can end it on that one. I'll throw that up there, and then we're going to throw out the outro. And don't forget to kick the like. Appreciate you guys so much. And thank you, Garrick. Thank you, man. I hope it's just a neck headache kind of thing. Thank you for the like. I see it scrolling up there. I see it. Would you look at that? Would you look at it? Smash the like. Love you guys. And we're going to throw off the, just because it is wintertime, Christmas is here. And I will see you guys Friday.
Have you ever wondered?
Stay living loud.
Have you ever wondered, is there more to life than it seems? Instead of the usually loud snowblowers, we now introduce a revolutionary concept. Using subwoofers as snow removers, with precision and finesse, these powerful subwoofers harness the force of sound pressure to delicately lift and dislodge snowflakes from every surface. Next is the synchronized rhythm of the subwoofers that creates an enchanting-like symphony, turning the act of simple snow removal into a breathtaking performance. We like to call this the snowfall.
Would you look at that?
So don't wait. Call 1-800-555-KICK. That's 1-800-555-KICK to get yours today.
Don't call that number.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Absolutely, man. If it's too loud, you're too old. I don't think it's ever going to get too loud, man. I know a lot of bass heads, 50, 60 plus. We're going to keep on kicking till we're kicked. Thanks for tuning in, guys. He's coming, right? He's coming. Stay warm. 110 dB club for the win. Hey, you know what? I thought I was only doing 110 dB for the longest time, 120s. Then I pulled out the real meter. I'm like, oh man, I'm doing a 40. That ain't bad at all. I ain't complaining. Oh, would you look at that? You got the kicker kicking. Cornut coming in with a $2 super chat. What'd he say? Bullseye. That's what he said. Thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for donating, and the bots are here. They're taking over. Love you guys. Cornut for the win. And as always, here we go. There we go. We got to cut that off. Stay living loud and background music and dance.